Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with the CTV News Update. The Maryland State Board of Education votes to lift its statewide school mask mandate. Board members voting 12-2 on a measure to end the masking rule by March 1st. The decision to lift the mask requirement could impact more than 800,000 public school students.
If it's rescinded pending AELR process, everyone should remember that the AELR is involved here when we do, if the board does take action. That should also create a cushion as well, I would say a procedural cushion, but they would not be required, right, if it rescind to use the off-ramp, but it does provide direction.
However, the Joint Committee on Administrative, Executive, and Legislative Review will have to approve the measure. The panel will hold a public hearing and a vote on the school masking policy this Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. Of the 341 new cases, 238 are in Prince George's. The county's positivity rate has risen slightly to 2.31%. 13 Marylanders have died of COVID in the latest daily tally. 507 people remain in the hospital. And County Executive Angela Alsobrooks has announced the formation of the Prince George's Cabinet for Children and Youth. The announcement is part of the county's Youth Engagement Week. Alsobrooks released this video highlighting the program. The cabinet includes members of the health profession, religious leaders, advocacy groups, and the state's attorney's office, among others.
The Cabinet for Children and Youth will work to address and respond to the issues facing the county's children and youth ages 25 and under, to include the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the ultimate goal of improving outcomes for children and youth in the county.
The cabinet will meet quarterly and issue a report with recommendations for improving coordination of services across the county by December of 2022. Well, a convoy of protesting truckers could arrive in our area as early as today. There are a number of convoys heading to the D.C. metro area from around the country. They plan to clog traffic on the Beltway. The truckers are protesting a myriad of issues from higher fuel prices, COVID mandates, government tyranny, and critical race theory. Other convoys could arrive by next week. In response, the Pentagon has approved the deployment of 700 unarmed National Guard troops to the nation's capital. The troops will be used to assist with traffic control during the expected demonstrations. Well, Prince George's police are warning residents about a popular scam targeting elderly county residents. It's called the grandparent scam. According to police, thieves call older people pretending to be their grandchild. The scam also involves the scammer asking their would-be victim for financial help because they were arrested or involved in a car accident. Police have released a video from a person who was conned into giving more than $12,000 to the thief.
You get so wrapped up in trying to protect your family that you lose sight of the intelligence God gave you. There is such urgency. They want you to keep acting and acting and acting and reacting. Don't do that. Call somebody. Call your husband, call your son, call your daughter.
The police department has received 3 reports of the grandparent scam since last month. Police say in 2 cases the criminal stole thousands of dollars using the ruse. And a federal judge has tossed out a redistricting map for Baltimore County Council districts. The judge ruled the map violates the Voting Rights Act. The plaintiffs argue the map was a violation because it diluted black representation by creating just 1 black majority district, even though the county is 30% African American. The judge has directed the county to create a map with either 2 black majority districts or an additional black district in which black voters can elect a representative of their choice. The deadline for the new map is on March 8th. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Coming up, Patricia Vallone continues her series on the Lakeland community for Black History Month as she investigates how urban renewal forever changed the landscape of the College Park town. Stay tuned.
A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Lakeland residents often win back generations, all with ties around the area lakes, a center point for much of the community. But when urban renewal came along, much of that was lost. In part 2 of our series on Lakeland, we take a look at how the College Park community has been forever altered.
when I talk to folks, there's still a lot of bitterness.
Dwight Brooks says he didn't see how much his childhood community had changed until he moved back to Lakeland. And that's when nostalgia gave way to his father's bitter memories.
I used to hear him say, you know, you're gonna buy everybody out, so replace homes. You know, don't let apartments come in. Replace homes. Put whatever you take, put homes back into the community. And I think as he saw that unfold, not moving in the direction he was hoping, him and some of the other people, he was really upset the fact that he had to relocate.
For years, Lakeland residents had resisted becoming part of College Park. Many feared it was an effort to take away their property and newspapers.
In those newspapers, you see where the reporter says that is an unrealistic concern. But if you look at that happened in the 1940s, by the 1970s, exactly that had happened.
Today, it's easy to see why their concerns were valid. More than 2/3 of the community was demolished in what was called urban renewal. And to add fuel to the fire, much of this land remained vacant for years. Eventually, some of the land was used for ballast to build up Metro's Green Line. The remaining land was turned into a park and transferred to the Park and Planning Commission.
The good thing about it is knowing everybody. I could tell you who lived in every house all the way through the community. That's the difference. You know, urban renewal just broke up community.
If you ever visit Lake Artemisia, know that you're in Lakeland, that you are in a part of a community where African American people lived for generations. In fact, some of the homes there were lived in by 5 generations of various families, and they were required to leave as a part of the urban renewal process.
Residents were initially told that they would have to temporarily move out of their homes and could come back when single-family homes were built. Instead, plans were submitted for townhomes and apartments, but that development never happened. Neither did a promised railroad crossing. Instead, the land sat vacant for 20 years.
With urban renewal, the people who lived here were required to leave. They said that basically the area was flood prone, although nobody had ever experienced any flooding in this area. They said that some of the homes were substandard.
One of the products of urban renewal was that Lakeland was divided into 3 sub-communities that had no direct access to each other.
What we're walking along now is really Rhode Island Avenue. And just like in so many African American communities, one of the big features is the disconnect. During urban renewal, the community was split into 3 sections. The west, which was from Route 1 to here, Rhode Island Avenue, and that area was slated for complete redevelopment. The area from Rhode Island Avenue to the railroad tracks was called the conservation area. That area was just receiving primarily infill development during urban renewal. And then the area from the railroad tracks east was slated for complete redevelopment as well, and that became Lake Artemisia Park. There are 3 different areas in Lakeland that the roads simply stop.
What did it mean to the community when that happened?
Well, it just means that you're not part of the whole.
Be sure to join us tomorrow at the same time as we take a look at how the Lakeland community is surviving in the present.
Thanks, Patty. Still ahead, it's that time of the week when we introduce you to this canine after the break.
This place that I call
I want to explain it to her.
Welcome back. A case manager for the Department of Social Services is throwing her hat in the race for state delegate. Her name is January McKay, and she's hoping to fill the District 23B seat. McKay grew up in Prince George's County and later attended North Carolina Central University. She says she has experience in youth development, reproductive health, and political organizing. One of McKay's top priorities is investing in public school education.
We would do that by ensuring that young people, students in the 11th and 12th grade, will graduate from high school either career or college ready. And we do that by connecting them with union apprenticeship programs or trade programs in the community.
McKay also says she wants to invest in early childhood education. Well, a Republican gubernatorial candidate picks her running mate. Kelly Scholes has selected Dr. Jeff Wolford. Wolford spent more than 30 years in the U.S. Air Force and as a fighter pilot and flight surgeon. He's also a lieutenant in the Maryland National Guard. Wolford also serves as Assistant Secretary of Health and Chief Medical Officer at the Maryland Department of Health and has helped with the state's COVID-19 response. The pair filed paperwork on Tuesday to put their names on the ballot for the June primary. And Governor Larry Hogan restores funding to Prince George's County and Baltimore City for the state's education effort. Hogan introduced a $480 million supplemental budget proposal. As part of the plan, Baltimore is expected to receive about $99 million. Prince George's could receive nearly $27 million in the next fiscal year. The money would be used for its school systems. The proposal also calls for more than $1 million for retention and recruiting bonuses for the Chief Medical Examiner's office. And a grocery store chain is now accepting SNAP benefits to fill your cart online. Price Right Marketplace says you can use your EBT SNAP funds for orders placed through Instacart and the store's website. You can also use the mobile app. Now, Price Right says all of its 60 locations will accept these benefits. Instacart is waiving delivery and pickup fees on all EBT SNAP orders through March 31st. Well, interested in becoming a new Prince George's School Board member, County Executive Angela Alsop-Brooks is seeking applications for the position left vacant after the resignation of board member Rahila Ahmed. Now, residents wishing to serve on the District 5 seat should submit a cover letter and resume to the email on the bottom of your screen. Applications will be accepted for the next 2 weeks. Or potential workers made their way to a job fair in Landover today. Employee Prince George's and City of Praise Family Ministries hosted a job and resource fair. Employees interviewed candidates on the spot for jobs. The event also provided unemployed residents with information about county resources, classes, and programs. The event is part of the first of 4 COVID-19 economic recovery job and resource fairs in the county. Well, are you looking to adopt a dog? Is your family social and friendly? If so, we have the perfect match for you. This is Casper, the friendly Pooch. He's a 5-year-old bulldog. Rescue coordinator Megan Staub says he's sweet. However, he will need someone special to care for him.
Although Casper is a very gentle soul, he has hard time hearing. So he will need a home that can work with him on social cues versus verbal cues to teach him what he needs to do and what not to do. He also has something called happy tail, where he gets so excited and happy that his tail tends to split open. So he might need surgery for that at some point in his life. But getting out of the shelter could really help with that.
And to bring Casper home, call the number on the screen or visit the website. Let's get a quick look now at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of around 34 degrees. Thursday, a chance for another wintry mix expected for our area tomorrow morning and clearing out in the afternoon. Temps will reach a high of near 36. Friday, rainy and cool during your morning commute, later becoming partly sunny with a high near 54. And Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 42. And now for the community calendar. As we continue to celebrate Black excellence this month, check out these events. Black Her Story Market is an opportunity to shop and support DC's top women-owned brands. The second annual Black Business Brunch will highlight businesses and owners from Africa, the Caribbean, and the South. And don't miss celebrating with friends at a Black History Month Sip and Paint. You can find these and other local events on Eventbrite. And that's our newscast tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night at 4:30. I'm Byron Scott. Good night.